Thank you for joining us tonight. Tonight's stream, we're going to be talking about Battlefield 2042, the beta. Did they learn? Did they listen to the community? And did they change things? Or are they going to change things for the better or maybe it's for the worse? You don't really know. But tonight, we're going to be talking about Battlefield 2042. We've had the beta. A lot of people enjoyed it. A lot of people just didn't like it. I personally had mixed feelings about the game. So, you know, they're my own personal feelings. There was issues. There was problems with the beta. But tonight we're going to be going over to the Battlefield 2042 website and we're going to see, as it says on there, in the window up there, you can see Battlefield briefing what we learned from the open beta. So, you know, maybe they have thought, you know, the community has spoken. We made a mess of the last game. Let's make it right this time because they've had another 12 months to play the game. So, you know, play the game to develop the game. And a lot of people are worried. I was particularly worried myself that there's certain things that weren't in the game. And hopefully they will put them in when the official release happens. So, excuse me. So, Battlefield 2042, we're going to be looking at the website. Like I say, Battlefield briefing, what we learned from the open beta. We're going to be talking about what they've got to say for themselves. And I think the first thing we're going to come to is down here is the specialists. A lot of people are up in arms about the specialists. I'm not a particularly big fan of specialists. How you doing, Dave? Really nice to see you there, mate. Dave watching us on YouTube, and for anyone out there, I am monitoring YouTube, Twitch and Facebook gaming, so we're streaming on 3 platforms and I can see the chat all at once on my system here. So if anyone's watching us on Twitch, I'll get your message. So let's carry on anyway. So anyway, Battlefield DICE said, our open beta was a special moment for us all who work across the project. You all finally got your hands on with our game. Before we get into the various learnings, takeaways and improvements that we have in motion for the launch of Battlefield 2042 and beyond, we have 2 special thank yous. Thank you for us lot jumping on and playing. We know how much you all look forward to a new Battlefield game, and we do. But like I say, for me, it was mixed feelings. For some people, it wasn't spectacular. And some people really liked it. So there's a mixed bag, I personally think, out there about the Battlefield beta. But we saw more of you on that first day than we could possibly have imagined, watching you each discover the tools of our sandbox and the different ways in which you can use them to play the objectives were truly very special for us. Thank you for taking the time to talk to us and share your feedback. We don't take it for granted. And I think this time a gaming company is actually not taking it for granted. They're actually, you know, they want to know, as they wouldn't have published this, I don't think. If we're going to like it, I don't know. Maybe we will, maybe we won't. I'm not overly sure. But tonight, like I say, we're going to go through. So first things first, let's talk about the specialists. Now, I wasn't a massive fan of the specialists, and some people actually really enjoyed the specialists. It just wasn't for me. But you know, I might get used to it. Ballooning the Balloon here, how are you doing? Really nice to see you. And he's watching us on YouTube. So like I say, we're on 3 platforms tonight and I can see everyone's chat over there. So back to the specialists. Not a lot of people like them. I'd say more dislike the specialist than like the specialist. I wasn't over keen on them. Certain people had mixed feelings about them. There is certain specialists that I probably wouldn't mind, and there's definitely ones, especially these new ones. So I think they're going to show us the last 5 specialists, and I'm going to play the video shortly. So that'll bring it to 10 at launch. Now, there's one particular specialist in this that I'm not over keen on. And you'll hear it, a lot of people on videos on YouTube and on Twitch and on Facebook Gaming that have been going on about the specialist that gives you basically wall hacks. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the trailer for the 5 new specialists. You'll see it up there. And we'll see what you actually think of it. Let me know in the comments what your thoughts are on the 5 new specialists. So here we go.
Peggy 16.
Reporting for duty.
I'm loving the sound though. A lot of people didn't like the sound engine. I'm loving it. Cyber warfare suite. Hack enemy equipment and in-world objects. So I'm not too bothered about that. That doesn't offend me a lot. Dozer. Mexico. So what's his specialist attribute? What the fuck? That's a really fast gun. Oh, has he got the shield? Ballistic shield, so that's his specialist. A lot of people don't like that. I'm not a fan of shields. But, you know, some people... This is the one that I don't think... Emma, Sundance, I don't think people will like. And I think this is the one that seems like it's wall hacking. Now, just watch this. How you doing, Joker? Love the sounds. But if you look here, now, I think she's thrown the specialist thing out there. Or is this the specialist thing? No, it's not. That's the one that's going to blow up the helicopter. Oh, maybe it wasn't that one. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was this. Jisoo Peak? Maybe it was this one. Yeah, Dave, oh, it's this one that I think I'm going to have issues with. Look, it's a wall hack. So, you know, if you use your perk for this specialist, you basically can see what, in effect, is a wall hack. Not over keen on this. I think there'll be too many people using that. Not over keen on that. I love the sounds. I don't know if you're getting the same sounds as me.
My friend, your days are not over.
Thank you.
Oh, that was a lot shorter. Did you notice that? The revive a lot shorter. Maybe he's listened to us. Yeah, so he's got a loadout crate. Yourself and the allies, so anyone can use it. But did you see how quick the revive happened then? Because it was like 4 to 5 seconds before you could revive someone. So there you go. There's a new 5 specialists. I don't know what your thoughts are on that. Like I say, I wasn't a massive fan of the specialist. One Shot says there in chat, enjoyed the open beta, didn't mind the specialist, found the game overall enjoyable. On PS5 was smooth enough. You see, I didn't really, I mean, don't get me wrong, I did have some problems, but not to the extent I think of a lot of people. I've got a 3070 in my machine there, so it should run all right. You know, I think it's preference really for the people who are or did play the beta. Like say, hello Joker, how you doing? Ballooning, no, it's a trope, but the game did not feel like a Battlefield game. I hate the plus system, and oh yeah, I absolutely loved the meaty sound. Yeah, the sound was awesome. To me, certain aspects of the game really didn't catch me as a Battlefield game, like the slider mechanic, which I don't mind. I just think it was too much. You know, I know it's going a bit COD style, the faster sort of gameplay, but I quite enjoyed that. I know a lot of people are really going to disagree with me over that, but I quite enjoyed the faster gameplay. And he also said, furthermore, I'm kind of worried about the Uber choppers. Now, in the beta, I personally thought the choppers and all the aircraft were overpowered. Totally overpowered. So, you know, I maybe I'm saying that because I'm not a pilot. I just can't do it. I'll get in land vehicles, and I'm not too bad in tanks per se. But the aircraft are just not for me, and I've got to agree that the choppers are uber overpowered. So anyway, during the open beta, we heard some feedback that specialists were limiting teamwork. Now, that was one of my problems, that the specialists sort of went out and did their own thing. Silver, how you doing, mate? Really nice to see you, mate. And don't forget, anyone who is on the When We Stream chat, you know who you are. By all means, come on and have a chat. You're very welcome. There's only certain people that can go on the chat, and if you fancy coming along, just come along. One shot, you're obviously on there. How you doing, Howard? So anyway, a lot of people worried about the specialist limiting teamwork within the game. And we all know Battlefield is primarily a squad team sort of game. You've got to work with a decent squad, decent team to get the win. And we wanted to address this concern head on. So they went on to say there were multiple factors in play during the open beta, and we feel contributed to the perception of how the specialist role contributes to squad play in Battlefield 2042. Now, I'm not overly sure that, I didn't really use the specialist attributes when I was playing the game, because I was trying to call in the ranger. I couldn't get the ranger to come in. I think of all the games I played, and I played the shit out of the beta, all the games I played, I got the ranger ones. I got it. That was an issue, and because it was a beta, but I only got the ranger to spawn once, and I was trying. Tried to get the truck, couldn't get that neither. So out of all the games I played throughout the beta over the days, I only got the ranger once. I don't know about you people out there. I just couldn't seem to get it to spawn, even though it was saying I had 3 out of 3 or 1 out of 3. I just never could get it to spawn apart from the ones. So Little Joker said, I do miss the old class system, but don't necessarily hate the specialist. The wall hack specialist seems like it's going to be OP for a while and then nerfed to hell. Or people, Joker, are going to get used to it, and they're going to say, look, or they're going to find ways where they can, get round that person or that specialist attributes. And then, I'm sure months into the game, it won't be as strong. And maybe, like you say, they will nerf it, and it'll get a little easier to battle that one. And Bull, evening, mate. Nice to be able to join the stream in time for my birthday tonight. Oh, well, happy birthday, mate. Really nice to see you. Hope you have a really nice birthday, mate. Have a couple of drinks. I don't know how old you are. I don't know what country you're from, but I hope you have a really nice time. Locked and loaded, watching the stream from Southampton. There you go. I should have kept on reading. Keep up the good work, mate. Looking forward to 2042. Me too, mate. I'm actually buzzing for it. And more so now, because I've actually had a read through this, and I'm sure people have heard one or two things about what they're going to change and what they've listened to. But I thought it'd be nice if we could all just have a look and go through and talk about what they actually learned from the beta. But happy birthday, mate. Even Silver there. See, a nice crew. We've got a nice crew in here. Happy birthday, mate. And I hope you have a fucking buzzing night tonight, mate. Little Joker, odd one. I got the Ranger more than the vehicles in the beta. I got it once, mate, and I was gutted because when I had it, it really, really was helping me. I really do like that one for the specialist. Howard Hopkins, I like the change in the attachments during the game. Actually, they've changed it, because the problem with me, and we'll probably see that further down, the problem was with me is I couldn't do that in the menu. But if I'm right and what I've seen is correct, then now it wasn't in the beta, but now I think we're able to sort our loadout before we can get into the game, because that was a big problem for me. Whereas you couldn't initially set your loadout before you got in the game. You had to spawn in, and then you then could do your loadout, which for me was nonsensical, but that's what it was at the time, and I was a little bit worried about that. But apparently now, before the actual match starts, the game starts, you can actually sort your load out, and I'm so grateful they've done that, because the game just wouldn't have been the same for me. So anyway, First, we recognize that the numerous improvements to the user interface, identifying between friend and foe, that was another big problem. Because everyone looked the same. Everyone looked the same. And it was really hard to differentiate. And because of the beta was a little bit buggy, I'd be looking at someone, literally looking at someone right in front of me. And there was no indication if it was friend or foe. So I'm glad they're addressing that. The ping system, that was another one. Didn't seem to work very well for me when I was playing the beta. But obviously they're going to sort that out now. So an in-game team communication that was missing during the open beta, and all are explained in detail below. So obviously they're going to explain what they're going to do about that further down the page. So fingers crossed that they're going to sort it out. You didn't get to experience all of these, and we're happy to want to help talk you through many different changes that you'll experience in the full game. Can't fault them, because they're saying, look, we realise the beta wasn't the best thing that we've ever put out there. I'm just, you know what I'm worried about? And I'm going to say it before we go down on these. I'm really worried that this is going to be a Battlefield. Let me do the devil in pop. So I bought myself, as you know, me and Jack were away, and we were up north, and I treated myself to a local malt. It's actually called Deanston. I don't know if you can see that. Deanston. And it's when we're in a place called Callander. It's up north in Scotland. And I like to support local businesses. I like to support local people who are trying to make a living, and this was from a distillery a couple of miles up the road, and I'm glad I bought it. It's really, really nice. It's quite strong. It's a decent malt. It is 46.3%, which is quite strong because it's usually 40%. So second, you weren't able to get your hands on with all the 10 specialists and see them all in action on the battlefield. Now that all the cards are on the table, they want to know what you think. Well, again, all I can say is I'm not overly impressed with the system itself. But you know what? I'm going to say it. You know, I might find one that I really like and I want to use, but I really have an issue with the one that looks like it can wall hack. So anyway, and yeah, cheers, mate. Really appreciate you popping along on your fucking birthday as well. Really appreciate it, mate. Little Joker, biggest problem with the wall hack specialist is that I can see hackers using her a lot because it could be harder to tell if the player's legit wall hacking or if it's just a specialist ability. Totally and utterly agree. So how regardless what cheat software it is, if say for argument's sake the hackers were getting a ban and that was the specific reason, they can say I was using a certain specialist, and I'm sure hackers out there can make sure whatever specialist you pick that could let itself be known to the cheat software in the game that they were playing, regardless which specialist, that they were playing that specialist with the wall hack ability. And you know what? They'll hack it so you know, maybe you don't have to wall hack, so the system will not see that you're hacking because you've turned on the wall hacks. What it might do is let you have unlimited grenades to trigger that wall hack for the specialist. I really don't know. I'm just not overly keen on it. But you know what? It is what it is. So anyway, what we've learned in or from the open beta, and I'll just try a little swig of this malt. Cheers, everyone. And cheers, Ant. Happy birthday, mate. I'm having a drink for your birthday. Oh, that's good, actually. That's really, really good. So what we learned in the open beta over the past few weeks since the beta, we've shared some limited insight into some of the changes that are coming in time for launch relative to the experience you had playing Conquest on Orbital. So, okay, we're getting into it. I hope everyone can see. If you're on your phone, you might not be able to see the text in the box up there. But if you watch it on a bigger screen, maybe as you can. On a tablet, you'll probably be able to see it. Because sometimes I watch these back on my phone, and sometimes I can't see the text that I put in there. But if I make it too big, it'll be more intrusive. And I like the people who are taking the time to make comments in the comment box and the chat box, that they come up and are a part of the stream as well. So, okay, so they've increased the number of tanks that you'll experience in Orbital. It's gone up from 4 to 8 on PC, Xbox Series S, and PlayStation 5. So obviously they're not mentioning the previous iteration of consoles, which is a shame, really. Maybe they're getting nothing different. But I can understand, because the more you put into a game, the more stressful it is on the system itself. 8 tanks is a lot, but it's a big fuck off map, Orbital. It is a big map. So we'll just have to wait and see. 8 tanks does seem an awful lot, but maybe that'll alleviate some of the snipers, because what I found is a lot of people just stayed back. Even some of the assault weapons that you could use with the different scope attachments, that you were finding people were just sitting back and getting kill after kill after kill. I'm one of these people, when I play Battlefield, and this is the honest truth, that I like to play the objective. I really do. It's a part of the game. I'm not, because I'm pretty shit, I'm just like a mediocre player. I'm one of these people that I like to play the objective. Not really. Don't get me wrong. I like getting kills, but I'm not one to look and say, "Ooh, I've only got 10 kills. I've only got 5 kills." It's all about the enjoyment in the game and playing it as it should be played. So, 8 tanks on Orbital. I wonder what it is on the other maps. And I don't know if you noticed when we were watching the Specialist video just back then, that some of them maps look awesome. The one that looks like No Shah, I think is going to be absolutely awesome. And I was seeing on it as well that they were in the night time. I wonder if there's going to be night modes in the maps as well. That'd be awesome. I'm just totally hyped for the game, in all fairness. So they made changes in the movement, adding strafe, input sliding, adding the ability to vault on moving objects. Awesome, quite like that. And tone down the jump spamming. So that's good. I hope they tone down the slide spam as well. Because I don't know if anyone played it and noticed how many people were fucking bouncing about like idiots. Yeah, totally agree with that. A nearby grenade indicator has been added, because you didn't know if you could actually see grenades if one came at you, but there was no indicator. A nearby grenade indicator has now been added. Entry and exit animations are now shorter. Everyone was complaining about that, with some being removed entirely. I don't know how that's going to work, if there's some and then, there isn't some. But I'm glad that they've shortened the animations. That's nothing but a plus for me. Elevators have been fixed so that you see less funky behaviours with doors. And I don't know if anyone was in another elevator when it went up. Your body just stayed there. It's as if you just sank into the bottom of the elevator. Hopefully they've sorted that out as well. Just before I go to the next part, I'm going to go back to the chat and see what everyone's been saying. So anyway, Silver Evans, 8 is a lot, yeah. And Howard said, damn PC hackers. You know what, there's always going to be problems with PC hackers. I don't think we're ever going to get away from it. Apparently in Vanguard, they've already hacked the cheat system already, and the game's not even out yet. I don't think it's ever going to stop. The only thing that I can suggest, if it is crossplay, because I think Battlefield is going to give you the option to just do it between console iterations and not play against PC players, which would be a shame, because I really would like to play with some of the subs that are come to the channel. But, you know, I honestly don't think you're going to get away with hackers on PC. Silver said they need to calm down the Call of Duty movements. I agree with you, Silver. I actually said early on, I don't know if you were on right at the beginning, I said I don't actually personally mind that it's faster play than we expect from Battlefield. However, I do think that some of the features and some of the things that are happening in Battlefield 2042 are very COD-like. Not over sure about that. So let's have a look. Howard Hopkins said snipers rule. Howard and his missus like sniping. They used to do a lot in Hardline. Am I getting indigestion? I hope not. Little Joker, I'm still excited to play Battlefield 2042 regardless. I'm really looking forward to a good modern day shooter. As good as Hell Let Loose is, I just can't get into historical shooters anymore. And one thing I said recently, I absolutely loved Battlefield 1. I wasn't keen on Battlefield V, 5, whatever you want to call it, but I've played Enlisted, Hell Let Loose, and I'm the same. I just can't, not that they're bad games. I think they're great games. I've just had enough. I want a good modern shooter, and I think Battlefield 2042 could be that game. I know it had a lot of problems. I know there was a lot of issues, but I honestly think, looking at what they're doing now, that it could be something really special. But anyway, back to what they've had to say, but there's much more beyond that, and we want to give you an insight into the opportunities an open beta presents us when we invite the world to come and play an early look at our game. So firstly, we can test how our technical systems behave in the wild, bringing forward with us the learning we had from the technical playtest in August for the people who had the chance to play it, to ensure that the solutions we developed were successfully applied in the real world. So look, try and forget that this was a beta, because this was a real beta. This is a game that's, it's been in production for a while, but it was a real beta. There was going to be problems, and I don't know if anyone's seen that. They're saying this beta was like two and a bit months old when we played it, and people are saying actually it was only a couple of weeks old. So I don't know what to believe. I've took it as it is, as a beta. I accepted the problems. I gave my feedback. I play a lot of EA games because I get, believe it or not, shitty little small channel from this old man here gets invited to an awful lot of EA games and playtests and alphas. And I took it as it is because, I've seen these games in early settings. Secondly, we can we get to compare the behaviors of how we see things behaving internally and how they behave in the hands of you, the players. So they'll have a select sort of set of people that have played this game, the game changers and dice friends, blah 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 blah, but they've seen nothing like when everyone just jumps onto the game. But they've seen that now, and hopefully they can implement decent changes. Finally, an open beta on this scale provides us the opportunity to hear directly from you and how the game feels. There's plenty of good discussion below, covering some of the thoughts and the feedback that we've read and seen, shared and discussed across various Battlefield communities. What we all appreciated seeing most was just how much joy you were having living your best sandbox life. We heard lots of positives about the gunplay. Gunplay for me was absolutely awesome. No problem with the gunplay whatsoever. I'd like them to leave that alone. Really enjoyed the gunplay. Maybes, because like I say, I'm a mediocre player. I'm not no MLG. I play it because I enjoy the game. But I honestly, I love the actual gunplay of the game. Right, where was it up to? The fidelity and the welcome return to our modern setting. And I've said it for years. This is what Battlefield does best. They've gone back to a modern setting, and I'm so happy. And I think this game is going to be awesome. I know a lot of the Insurgency Sandstorm community, I gotta say, I'm a fanboy, and I was actually called a simp. What the fuck? a shill for Battlefield. I'm certainly not that. I'd definitely tell you if I was getting money to say nice things about Battlefield. I'd certainly tell you, but I'm not. I'm a fan. Yeah, I'm a big Battlefield fan. But bottom line is, anyone who knows Devlin will know that I will say it as it is. If I think the game's shit, I will say it's shit. If I buy into this game and then the game is not the game that we all expected, then I'm gonna definitely let people know. Right, let's have a look. We also heard plenty of constructive feedback about performance, team and squad play, and the user interface. That was a big problem with a lot of people. Don't actually know what these are. These really shitty images that people sent in. So an overview of vehicle versus infantry hotspots across the entirety of Orbital. Check. Click to see in high resolution. I don't want to click to see in high resolution because it's the same picture. But these are the hotspots, obviously, where the actual vehicles were going. Below, we're helping to summarize that feedback, let you know how it performed against our designs, and to give you a look at where we are today. And I hope it's a lot further on than the beta because there's not long to go. 19th of November, we're getting to play this game and having to pay to play this game. So hopefully it's going to be decent. I just don't want a Battlefield 4 scenario where it's going to take them 12 to 18 months to make the game playable. Because I don't think they can survive from that. As well as where we may yet go with quality of the experience in Battlefield 2042. So we're going to talk about performance, but first I'm just going to see what Silver had to say there. So we'll go on to performance. I still don't understand, Silver said, why you would pick a dated build for people that use the beta as a first impression for real gameplay. First impressions are pretty hard to break. Totally agree, mate. Yeah, I've got to agree. And I actually said on Twitter, if anyone who follows me, I said on Twitter that why would you give us a beta that's got problems that you know about that apparently you've already sorted out? Why didn't you give us the one that you had sorted out? I don't understand the mentality of that. And then he goes on to say, good question, Silver Evans. This is from Little Joker. Silver Evans, I played the BFV beta for barely 1 hour and was completely against playing it. So I 100% agree. First impressions are important. Stealth Slicer, how you doing, mate? Really nice to see you. Old equals stable when it comes to builds. That is the case. I was just confused, Stealth, that they said they put out a beta they knew there was going to be issues with, and they had one where they'd sorted out the issues and gave us the one with the issues. I just not getting the mentality. So let's go over to performance after I've had a wee sip of the old dram. So anyway, performance. We've previously talked with you about the age of our open beta. This is what we were talking about. Open beta build, but we haven't talked to you about why it is that you experience something older compared to what we're playing, testing and polishing every day across our studios. So here it is from the horse's mouth. They're going to tell us why. In order to ensure that we can have an open beta, we do something called branching. I'm sure Stealth will know what that means, where we identify our most stable build and split it off from our active development branches that receive daily check-ins, new content, addition and bug fixes. This took us back in August, where we were in the process of compiling what we have today internally as a complete package of Battlefield 2042. So I think that's what Stealth Slicer in the chat was saying there, that old is stable when it comes to builds, and it's just been confirmed there of what actually DICE have said themselves. Branching allows us to strip out all the unnecessary systems, content and mechanics that are still under various forms of testing. I've got to agree with that. If it's not going to work correctly, leave these things out till you do it correctly. However, you know, that again, going back to what Joker and Silver was saying, that, you know, first impressions really do count. You took a really big chance there. Let's hope it pays off for you, because, you know, the new videos actually about the Specialist have really impressed me. I've been the gunplay and the sound system is, for me, is awesome. And polish up what you sometimes hear referred to as a vertical slice of the game. We work hard to optimize it, stamp out critical bugs, and drive for maximum compatibility and performance on known hardware. By stripping out other content and systems, we remove potential conflicts that keep things running in the best possible manner. So, you know, there's a method to the madness. Again, I still got to say that they possibly were taking a big chance putting out that build. But, you know, like I say, there is some sort of method in their madness. So, stealth, as said, could be anything really, but usually it's the best to put out something older and stable with known issues than something newer with potentially unforeseen, currently unknown bugs. And just in case anyone doesn't know Stealth, he's one of the panel when he's got time to come on, Stealth Slicer, and he is a software developer, not in the gaming industry, may I add. So he does know his shit. He knows how, you know, the workflow of these things happen. So he said every time you put something new, fix something, you run the risk of breaking something else, and won't know until it breaks. Things can run and will slip past testing, especially when you put them into the wild. Richard, then you, 72, what's up? My name's Kieran Barnes and I'm 22 today. Want to burn a zoot with me for my birthday? Drinks on me. We've had 2 birthdays, Rich. We've had 2 birthdays today. Ant's birthday. But what I'll do is have a malt with you. I'm not overly sure where you're from, mate. But I'll have a malt whiskey with you. Happy birthday, big fella. I was trying to take my time tonight. So we've got Reno. I think all ideas have something good. Richard, Devlin looked like Santa today, looking smooth. I'm letting the beard grow a little bit, mate. So it is getting a bit long and a bit white, but you know what? I might have a job at Christmas for a couple of weeks. A little joke said, one thing that concerns me for Battlefield 2042 that wasn't in the beta, and I don't believe DICE has mentioned it, is the progression. They are going off a terrible progression of BF5. Not overly sure what they're actually doing with that. Let's hope it might be down here. Happy birthday, buddy, from Stealth. There you go. Like saying, nice community we have here. Can you turn on donations? Donations actually, I think, were turned on. I don't know if that's just for Twitch, because I'm actually streaming on 3 different platforms. I'm streaming on Twitch. I'm streaming on, obviously, here on YouTube and Facebook Gaming. I thought it was actually on, to be honest, but I know it's definitely on Twitch. I'm actually experimenting with 1 or 2 things now, because I don't like that restream piece of software. So what I did is I invested in premium for Streamlabs, and that's why I can stream to 3 different platforms, software platforms, without it really affecting my personal rig. Because what happens is the video goes to Streamlabs, then they actually do all the hard work for me. So there's no issues on this side when I'm streaming. Happy birthday, see Christy Gaming Zone. How you doing, mate? Subscribe again, Christy Gaming Zone and Stealth Slicer. They do have YouTube channels. Chris does a lot of modding stuff. Stealth does a lot of how can I put this, sort of technical how-to sort of stuff about weapons and gameplay itself. So Little Joker, are they going to with the better progression like BF4? Don't know. We'll have to see if they mention it when we get down. And Bull, that's the other one. Rich and Anne, it's both your birthday today. I will have a cheeky another one just to say happy birthday, lads. I hope you have a great night tonight, obviously. Cheers, gents. So, like I say, we're a small community, but we are a really nice community. Let's have a look. So even the other subs, even people that are in the chat talk to each other. Yeah, my boyfriend loves a beard. You're a weirdo, Howard. So anyway, we knew the open beta build would therefore not showcase what we're at today with polish and how the game plays, not benefiting from all the additional work that's been done on the game since we branched in August. In addition to what you've seen today from our full lineup of specialists and many of the updates that you can read about and see here, expect more Battlefield 2042 updates over the next few weeks that let you get a glimpse in the great progression that the teams have made. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the specialists, to the people who never actually seen the video. I'm going to play the video again and see, have I got a wheezy chest? And see if there's any specialists out there that you think you'd enjoy. I know I don't like the one that seems like wall hack. So let's watch it again.
Peggy 16.
It's actually the maps and shit that I was looking at when I was watching this trailer. Navin, India, Trojan Network. I know I keep saying it, but I love the sound engine. Punchy, really punchy. So this is going to be the guy, Doza, Mexico. He's going to be the guy with the shield. Look at the speed on that gun. Wonder what that gun was. Did anyone notice what the gun was? No worries, Chris. Go on, blow the shit out of that. See, I initially, when I first shown it, I thought it was this one that did the like wall hack type of specialist ability, but it's not. She's obviously one with the I don't know what they call flying suits. I don't know. I think I'd quite enjoy that one, in all fairness. Listen. Do. And smart explosives. Now, quite like this. This is where I was getting confused before. I don't know if that sort of locked itself onto the helicopter. This is the one that I don't like. I'm going to say nothing. I mean, what do you think? To me, that is just a wall hack. It's a blatant wall hack. And we were having a conversation before that hackers could, you know, wall hack and say, I was using that specialist. I mean, how would they differentiate? I'm sure they would, but I don't know. He's giving out ammo, loadout crate. Oh, loadout crate, not an ammo. Oh, armor, ammo, and new loadouts. Actually, that'd be a decent one. That'd be decent in something like a Battle Royale that they said they're not going to do. And that's it. I'm probably more excited. I'm probably more excited about the maps that I've seen in there, to be honest. But I'm a bit of a weirdo, so actually my beard is getting long. I need to maybe deal with that. Right, let's have a look where we were. Branching allows us to ship out all the unnecessary systems. Have I done that? No. Content and mechanics that are still under various forms of testing. And polish up what you sometimes... Yeah, I have. So it's just the last bit, I think. In addition to what you've seen today from our full lineup of specialists, blah, 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 blah. And many of the updates that you can read about and see here. More Battlefield 2042 updates over the next few weeks. I think I talked about that. We did actually finish off. So servers. This was a big issue for Devlin's beard map. Yeah. Right, okay, so servers. This was an issue with a lot of people. The servers weren't the most stablest, I don't think. There was a lot of issue. There was a lot of lag. There was a lot of rubber banding. Look, in general, it wasn't brilliant, so I hope, that they're going to get this sorted. And we'll obviously talk about that now. Till I say happy birthday to everyone again. So servers, we gained a mountain of valuable data about the performance of our servers and the processes we use to keep them successfully scaled right across the experience through the open beta. We sustained multiple ping sites in central locations all over the world and took some important learning from that. Hopefully they've definitely learned from that. Macaraya, how you doing? From Twitch, talking to us from Twitch. Really nice to see you, Macaraya. Thank you for joining us on Twitch. We are actually over on YouTube and Facebook Gaming as well. Definitely Spader looking awesome tonight. It's big, Chris. And I've actually put product in the bloody thing because it was like what you should do is Google what's it called? Stealth, help me. Google Rodney and I can't think of the name of the program. Well, if Stealth can sort of decipher what I'm trying to say, you'll see me as Grandad. Oh, were you there, Stealth?
Are you on about Only Fools and Horses?
Only Fools and Horses. If anyone wants to Google Only...
I've been on the stream.
Hey!
You've just been on mute.
Oh, you should have just come on, man. You should have butted in. I told you to butt in.
I didn't know, but yeah, I've had a lot of concerns too. I had the Ranger, but it felt like the Ranger felt kind of stupid. I called him in a few times, and he would just look at people and
not do anything.
He was very weak. Yeah. The gunplay for me, I was on the Xbox One, and it felt like really weird. Like,
did it?
I'd be shooting the gun, and it'd shoot like 3 or 4 rounds at a time. Then it'd stop, and then it'd start shooting again. And I'm like, what the heck is going on with my guns? Like, it was like for all the guns.
In all fairness, I had a great experience with the gun. The gunplay for me was brilliant.
It was the opposite. I had more fun in the vehicles. The helicopter was really fun. Attack helicopter was pretty fun too. The tank was kind of cool. I used the thing as the artillery because I think I was over on the left side of the map. And I saw a guy trying to zip line up to that tower. Then I couldn't shoot him with the mounted gun, so I waited for him to get up on the tower. And I used the tank shell like an artillery and shot him across the map and got him. And I was
you actually got him as well?
Yeah.
Stealth,
cool.
did you get an opportunity to play the beta, mate?
No, unfortunately, I was pretty seriously ill.
Oh shit!
Course of the beta. I'm not going to bother going into it because, of course, that's not.
Yeah.
But I was essentially subsisting like 3 hours of sleep a night.
Shit, mate.
I just couldn't. I couldn't function, so I missed the entire thing.
Sorry.
So I'm so sad. I am better now, though. I'm just sad.
So what have you got? Look, your views on what you've seen then, Stealth. What you've seen. Obviously, you've watched videos and you've seen information about the beta because it wasn't the. In all fairness, I have to be truthful. I am a big fan. It wasn't the best. But what are your views? Do you think it's going to be better, and do you think? Or is it anything that worries you? And just tell us your overall views of what you've actually seen. If you haven't, experienced the game itself, just tell us what you think.
I'm just going to be honest with people and say, nowadays people see betas and they rip them apart, and that forms the basis of their opinion of the game. But it's a beta. You're playing an old build. You would be surprised how much can change in a short period of time.
Right.
So, honestly, yes, this will be reflective of some elements of the game, and you will have a valid opinion come launch. But just keep in mind, it is a beta. Things will change with this. It's like another game, Back for Blood, that had a beta recently, and it
Right.
got torn apart. People didn't like it.
I seen that. People hating on that real bad.
I don't understand why. I played both the beta and I have the actual game now. I thoroughly enjoyed both, and yes, the beta had issues, but yes, it was already a 2-month-old build, and yes, much of it was fixed by launch. But baseline is 2042. It was a beta. It was an old build. Give them time. Give them a chance, and then just check it when it launches.
So is that a normal thing? Just while it's in my head, Stealth, because you were talking in the chat. Is that a normal thing? Giving us because I was really confused. I know you're into software development, and you know, I've got to tell people out there it's not game development, but it's software development. Is that the way things work? Is that how it works? They would put one that they know bugs are in because it is the most stable one.
Well, absolutely, because the bottom line is, if I have, say, 3 builds, I have one build which is about 2 months old, there are several bugs in it, alright? I have one that's 1 month old, I fixed some of the bugs, but I'm still working on it, and I have the build from a week ago. I will never give you the build from a week ago because it's probably not had nearly enough testing, and it won't have gone out anywhere. The one from a month ago, yeah, I could, but maybe we're still doing things with it. We're still working on it. We're still expecting things in. It's better to give it a bit of time. The one from 2 months ago, what they essentially have to do, you need to remember, is that they need to put up all the infrastructure as well. So they need to spin up all of their servers, spin up all of their infrastructure, decide what build they want to put out there, and say, are we comfortable with people seeing all of this stuff that is in this beta and all of its bugs and all of its stuff along with it? What do we want to give them? What do we want to withhold from them? What are we willing to let slide? Because, as I say, every time you make changes to a piece of software, doesn't matter what it is, you run the risk of inadvertently breaking something else.
Something else that was working.
That has so many moving parts. You can and will have things that slip in there that will break it, and that is why you would rather have a build that you've had out for 2 months that you know has been hammered for 2 months and you know will work, rather than something that's a bit more recent that maybe, let's just say, if somebody's equipped with a sniper rifle with a certain scope and stands in a certain spot and gets hit by a tank and it crashes all of the servers, you wouldn't risk that.
Right, okay. So it's a normal thing for software developers, regardless if it's games or if it's applications or whatever. It is a normal thing to let people play an older, maybe it's more buggy build of a game, rather than send something out that will probably basically just be a heap of shit.
It's not to say that the most recent build's a heap of shit. Absolutely not. It's just
could be. What I'm saying is could be. There's, you know, they might say, oh, we've been playing the shit out of this. It's working perfectly fine. However, we're not overconfident. If we put that out in the wild, then, you know, it could be crash and burn, because I think there's a lot sort of riding on Battlefield 2042. Because
I have to agree there.
Yes. Because this is the thing that you're saying, and why I was banging on that. This is a beta. Remember, it's a beta. Things have and will change, because at the end of the day, if your beta is going to be your first show to everyone, your big first impression, the last thing you want is for it to get to 8th of October, people start playing, unforeseen bug takes your servers down.
Yeah.
That's the worst possible thing that can happen. That's why you get the old builds.
And I suppose the old build, they've been playing like months and months beforehand. All right, there is issues with it, but at least it's stable enough to let people out there play it. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly. And the other thing is, when you say, oh, it's buggy, they have the transparency, unlike some developers, to turn around and say, we know about these, we have addressed these, please place your confidence in us.
Yeah, exactly. What I like about DICE, because I'm gonna have to go on to the next thing down on the list. I don't know if you boys, because I put the link in the Discord. I don't know if you boys have actually got the web page up, but I'm gonna go on to the next bit, because I think I'm only halfway down the page, so it's going to be a longer stream tonight. So anyway, one of the big issues with people and myself personally, because, you know, I thought I was a god at one point. I thought, I'm killing loads of people. I'm brilliant. I love this game. I've never played a Battlefield like that. Fucking bot this, AI that, AI this, AI that. And I thought, And this is what we're going to hear now. So they're saying bot-heavy servers were too prevalent across the first few hours for many players. Too many of you were being dropped into games that weren't being successfully backfilled, and you left fighting against bots. Bots are designed as a good way for new players to learn how to play Battlefield. I totally get that, in all fairness. I totally get that for new people to the franchise. I think bots, but I think you've got to understand that there's people like myself, like Stealth, like you, Silver, Christy Gaming out there. We've played this game for years and years and years. We know the shit. We don't want to be putting with a game full of bots. So,
actually, if I could say something,
go on.
I actually kind of like the bots. I mean, it's a
what? Because you felt good about yourself.
Yeah, it's a refreshing take if you're bothered by people.
Sure,
right now,
I suppose.
Or if you just want to mess around, and because I tell you, some of these people take this game way too seriously.
Yeah, I think in general, Silver, in general, they take games far too serious.
Yeah, it's like, maybe I just want to play a game that I'm not being farmed by helicopters.
I suppose. Because you get these MLG gods that are just wasting you, and you think, shit, I just killed, I don't care if the AI, I've just killed 5 people in a row. No, I totally get what you're saying.
Plus, that way, they're good for the longevity of the.
I suppose, yeah.
Imagine if
Hardline had. Correct. You could always get in a game. I mean, I suppose it would get boring, but you could always get in a game. I think, and I'm going to say it, and I say it every time I do something about Battlefield, we need to have some sort of hardline content in this game. If they've got Portal, they've got to put it in. They've got to put it in through Portal. They've got to. If they're going to put, parts of other games, then I think they've definitely got to put hardline in there. So anyway, veterans of the franchise, and to provide new options for veterans of the franchise to take new players under their wing and show them how to PTFO. If anyone doesn't know what that means, it's play the fucking objective. I don't care about swearing. Not bothered about advertising, doesn't bother me. So it's play the fucking objective. Bots are not designed as a replacement for other players. Throughout the beta, we were unable to dedicate a great deal of time into looking at why servers were sending certain groups of players into predominantly bot-populated matches. Our teams were then able to make real-time changes to the behaviors of matchmaking to ensure the servers were being stood up with heavy majority human players, and that appropriate backfilling was happening where we expected it to. And that for me, and I'm sure other people out there, how you doing, Martin Brown? Really nice to see you, mate. I got in a lot of games where I was predominantly killing bots, and it was satisfying. I enjoyed it, but I wanted to shoot. I wanted to play games with real players, and I got far more satisfaction out of when I didn't see bloody AI at the end of the name. Just before anyone speaks, can I just go to the chat, because I've been a bit negligent. So I'll start off with Little Joker. I'm all about wall hacks all day, so wall hack girl would be my choice. I'm just kidding. I'll probably go with the Watchdogs Specialist. I was actually trying to think of the name, Joker, and it is Watchdog Specialist. They're like hacking person or smart bomb specialist out of those choices. I would go with probably the smart bomb one, or the one with the sort of gliding suit thing.
Oh yeah, she's kind of cool.
I think so. So Martin Brown is a new name. I don't think I've seen Martin. Evening Lads thought I'd drop in for a bit of me and Rich are all friends. So it's all your birthdays today. We share the same day. Have another drink for us, Devlin. Wanna burn a fat ziggle for a birthday? I'm not into the weed, mate, but I will have a drink to you. Actually, I better fill that. Because I've got a drink for 3. Go on, Stealth.
This feels like when you've got a group of mates and you're all going through, I don't know, a takeaway or something. It's like, oh, it's my birthday. Can I have a free ice cream or something?
Yeah.
They're just trying to get you drunk.
I don't. Well, you know, that's not hard.
Drunk.
I need to look. I'll do that on my own because the stream's obviously gonna go on a lot longer than we usually go on because it usually finishes now, but it's not going to finish now. So anyway, boys, malt whiskey to all the boys. 3 birthdays. Get the fuck.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, I think this is the first time we've seen. I've got a vague
Martin
feeling
Brown.
we've
I'm
seen
not
once
sure if I've
before.
seen his face, to be honest.
I think I might have seen him once before, but I might well be misremembering. But welcome to the channel. Welcome to the podcast, dude. It's always great to see new people. It's always great to interact with you.
Yeah, have to agree there.
It's nice to see new faces. So anyway, we were able to also monitor the behavior of matchmaking and study why it is that players were sometimes being sent to servers outside of their region. A lot of people got that as well. I was lucky. I mean, I think I was always in European servers, but I believe there was a lot of like Australasians that were put in American servers and European servers. So obviously they're going to sort that out with full appreciation that some players didn't have the optimal experience. We want to thank them for persisting as it allowed our teams to breadcrumb trail our way back through our systems to understand why they were being sent out of their region and experience higher pings than expected. We've ironed out a great deal of those creases in time for launch and we will be as agile as we were during the open beta in helping address anything new in real time during the launch of the game. So at least, right, I'll go to you, Silver. Look, at least they are. I know you had issues with your game. You were saying like the gunplay, you weren't overly impressed. I had a good experience. But mate, at least they're talking to people.
Yeah, I agree, because I think the reason why they were being quiet is because they remember their PR disaster from Battlefield V.
That was fucked up,
maybe
mate.
Maybe they thought that being silent was the best way to counteract that, because you can't say anything dumb if you aren't talking.
No, but I suppose. Should I therefore then apologise to NWA? Do you know what I mean? Not going to happen, by the way.
You aren't wrong in that.
No.
The one thing I heard about the matchmaking kind of worried me because that makes me think that there's not going to be a server browser, and that's going to be specifically.
We need that. We need that. We need a server. And we need community servers. I think we'll have to have them. Look, in Battlefield 1, I think I rented a server for the whole time I played that game. Cost me an absolute fortune, but I bought it for because we had a platoon. I was actually on the Xbox at that time, and actually Howard in the chat, Howard Hopkins, he was actually in the platoon. That's why he keeps calling me a traitor, because I went out and became a PC gamer again. But he'll tell you, I bought a server and we were playing on it, and it cost me an absolute fortune, but I was happy to do that. And for content, in all fairness, I've got to be selfish for content. You if you wanted to do, so for argument's sake, what's a bullet drop of this gun? You could close your server, password protect it, and just get whoever you wanted on your server. So for content creators, it was brilliant. But I think because sometimes you get the community servers from the DICE servers, that they're basically just left alone, and that's where all the hackers migrate to. I think if you had servers that were bought for and controlled by the community, like soon as you've seen a hacker, they'd be out, or you'd make people mod for your server, so they'd be out straight away. So the user interface was a massive problem. So Silver, you've played this game. Although it be on the console, did you have a problem with the interface?
Only thing that really bothered me is the warrant lock-on system. You couldn't tell when they had a solid lock on you or the missile was incoming. It just showed yellow and red, and that other than that, I think I was fine. Although the plus system was kind of a little broken. I like it. I like the idea of the plus system though. 'Cause I
Right.
heard you said you weren't into it, but it kept resetting every time I died. So I just,
No, that's a problem. But now, apparently, because there was an issue, I don't know if anyone's sort of
That and,
experienced the issue that.
they didn't even have the Comero system. You couldn't tell anybody was friend or foe, and so you couldn't tell
I
if anyone
talked
had
about that
info or
earlier.
not.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I did too.
Apparently, they've sorted that out. They've dealt with that. But now you can. Well, what they're saying is, before you actually load in, because you know the score, you had to wait till you actually loaded in before you could change your loadout. But now they have obviously not changed it. They've actually corrected it where you could actually set your loadout before you actually spawned in. And I can't understand, maybe again, like Stealth was saying, what they're saying is it was left out of the beta. So, you know, a lot of people complained about it. Hopefully it was always coming. I've got a sneaky suspicion that they were going to leave it as it was, but they've actually now put it so you can arrange your loadout before you actually spawn in now.
Hope,
so that's the best thing.
Because having to spawn in to look at your kit was kind of a little annoying.
So anyway, what I'm going to do, are you still there, Stealth?
Yeah, I'm still here. Bork's just joined too.
Oh, it's Borked in. Oh, brilliant. Not seen Borked for ages. How you doing, Borked?
I'm all right, thank you.
Excellent. Bork's in the stream as well. It's obviously going to be a bit of a longer one. So is anyone actually on the webpage at the moment?
I'm following on.
Okay, so I'm at user interface at the moment because I need to go and get a cigarette. It's gone well past the time I usually give up. So what I'm going to do is put it on intermission. If someone, whoever would like to volunteer for me, could talk about the user interface, if they're actually on that page at the moment.
Yeah, sure. I'll bring in the topic and then we can discuss it as we go in, I guess.
Okay, so we've gone to intermission. I'm going to hand you over to Stealth Slicer. Don't forget to subscribe to his YouTube channel. And he's going to tell you a little bit about the user interface just while I go for a quick cigarette. Stealth, it's all yours, mate.
Oh, on the user interface, they're saying that we're stepping aside our review of how the technology in the game performed, and let's get into the experience on the side of the open beta. Start talking about the systems that were being interacted with by the players, by the users. The user interface in the open beta wasn't fully represented of the final experience. Again, this is the whole idea of betas will be several builds old, simply because it's a bit more stable, it's a bit more reliable, that you'll at least be able to get people out there doing what they want to do. So it's missing some essential components, some of which were disabled to remove debilitating and now resolve bugs. Again, that could potentially be a cause as to why you had to spawn in to then do your class. I don't know, I'm not in the loop, but maybe. Some of which we choose to continue to focus on for launch, and some of which from which we branched in August. Scrolling down a little bit, we've got Big Map, as we refer to it internally, was disabled. Interesting, so we might get some more stuff out of that. Some of what you spotted in the key bindings, and many of you simply expected it based on past behaviors in Battlefield games. We have it in our builds today, and you can see it in action below. I don't know if Devlin is actually showing enough of it, but you do have a view of one of the maps there. I'm not entirely sure what they're highlighting because, as I say, unfortunately I was unable to participate in the beta, but
They're
Silver,
showing
you were
that,
able to. Can you give us some light on this?
The big map in Battlefield, when you press the hold on console, you hold the start button.
Yeah. Okay, I follow. That's what they mean by big map. To be honest, I just called that the map.
So where are we up to, guys?
We're at the big
we're just talking about the big map.
Okay.
Yeah, because the big map wasn't in there. You only had your mini map, and you couldn't make it bigger.
Apparently, they're going to deal with that.
Battlefield, you can make your mini map a lot bigger. It was just like super tiny, and you couldn't hold start and pull up the big map.
Right, that makes sense. As I say, I've just referred to that as maps. When they say big map, I had no idea what they were on about then.
So have we actually gone through the big map then? Are we? Can we move on or?
Yeah, we've just gone to beneath the screenshot you're currently looking at on stream.
All right. Okay. So I'm not gonna. Well, actually, let's put a full view of the screenshot. What I liked, I don't know if anyone else is the same. That I like you've got to take sectors now, and you've got to take more than one flag to actually get the sectors. But I find it very World War III. Has anyone played World War III?
I haven't played World War 3, but I do approve
I haven't
of
played it
this
yet,
sector thing
but
because
I haven't played it yet, but I've watched some gameplay.
And it's a sort of same idea. You take a certain amount of maps to actually take a sector. Go on, Stealth. You were saying.
I think it's a really good idea because we've seen it time and again in any game with Conquest game modes. If there is a particularly defensible flag and you take it, it's going to be hell for the other players. They're going to get annoyed with it. Whereas if you're working more on sectors and the team is adamant that they're going to lock down one sector,
Sure.
that gives the opposing team a lot more flexibility in where they can go, how they can fight you, how they can counter you, and that is going to lead to a lot more dynamic combat, which is going to lead to a lot more battlefield moments, and that's exactly what we want.
Well, for battlefield moments, I think it's going to be brilliant. But like, Borks, are you still there, mate? What are your thoughts? All right, mate.
Yeah, it's all right. I don't know. I'm just.
Are you still not a big fan of what you're seeing at the moment?
I'm just a little bit past the marketing and the bullshit and the hype. I just find it difficult to buy into such a diluted corporate product.
Right.
That's put that aside. The play test, regardless of what they say, it was an alpha and it was an insult. They panicked and thought we'll just put the same build out again with a few fixes. Nobody will notice, capped at 30 FPS and 1080p. And to be fair, I played way more of the beta than I did the play test.
Okay.
And do you know what? I'm not going to say I didn't enjoy it because I did. What I didn't enjoy was being a solo player. I thought it was just...
Yeah.
It was
I just don't have friends to play with a lot of the time. So.
Don't say that. Silver. Fucking hell. Shit.
He's absolutely right, because if you jump on at 4 in the morning when everybody else is sleeping because we've got work
Sure.
next day, and yeah, like that's how, you know, but I felt the solo play was just boring and irritating. But then as soon as I played it with other people who were competent and we were communicating,
You had a good experience.
It was good.
Yeah.
Sure.
It wasn't perfect, it was good. And there was times where I was like, you know what? Yeah, this actually does feel like Battlefield.
But in some senses, balked a lot of the time. Even me, I am a fan, but sometimes I thought, you know what, shit, this is a bit COD-like, and this is not what I expected. But you know, I'm the same as you. Did I like it? Yeah, I suppose I did like it. Maybe it's because I played COD the last couple of games that have been released. You know, I actually, because I'm a run and gun player, I actually enjoyed, to an extent, the experience that I had in the beta, and I'm just, you know, I've got to give them kudos for actually coming out and saying, we know it fucked up, but we are now going to try and address these problems. I don't think you can fault a company for that. And look, I like DICE. I'm a fan of DICE. I cannot stand EA, and EA knows that. I'm blocked for it's like an NWI situation with me with EA. I'm blocked from everything on EA, but they still ask me to play all the fucking betas and play tests and all that shit. It's weird as shit. But if
I have to respect them for trying something new and not just doing Call of Duty copy paste yada yada. But the thing is, I'm glad that they gave us Portal 2 because
I'm excited about that.
Redo that and then not give us something in case we don't like that.
Can we reserve opinion until it's released though?
Exactly, till we actually see it.
Anything of it yet? We've just seen a few screenshots, and this is what it's going to do. This is how wonderful it is, and that's just marketing.
Yes.
you know, like it's like saying, yeah, it's brilliant before it's released, but I don't know what it is. Let's, you know, like if we're going to frame an argument, let's frame it on what we've played. Is it a Battlefield game? Yeah, it's 50-50 in my opinion.
Right.
I see what they tried to do, but it's not the series that I, you know, bought into many years ago. Is it fun? Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I had some fun. You know, it wasn't the most fun gameplay I've ever had, but I've done something interesting. I thought, you know what? I'm gonna go play Warzone.
Fucking hell.
I've not played Warzone since it came out. I literally played about 5 or 6 matches.
So when you played Battlefield, you thought, I want to go and play Warzone.
Yeah, no, but I want some balance because they're obviously going to end up competing in the same market space as the two big FPS titles. So I thought, let's go back and try Warzone where it is now. You know, 2019 was it came out. And you know what? I actually enjoy Warzone more than I enjoyed 2042.
Get to fuck, mate. No way.
Yeah, like, I don't know what it is. I don't know. It's probably just polish and the fact there's time spent on the game. I've been playing the Payload game mode, which is currently on there. You know, like, it's almost like Payload from Team Fortress 2.
Overwatch mode, kind of.
Well, I remember it from Team Fortress 2. You know, where you push the bomb towards the objective. And I've got to say, every game of it I played, I thoroughly enjoyed. The hit detection seems on point.
What the fuck? I never thought I'd hear this from you, mate.
No. This is, you know, people think I'm just full of negativity and hate.
No. I know what you mean. I know.
I'll be honest. When credit where it's due.
The only thing I don't like about Warzone is how it just literally eats your hard drive.
Pretty much.
I understand. I'm in a position where storage isn't, you know, like 100 quid, yeah, whatever. Like, and that's not bragging. That's just, you know, different people have different resources. I could understand why.
Well, just let me show you something. I've just grabbed just a literal handful of SSDs. You know, it's not storage is nothing for me neither, but I do understand what Silver's saying.
Yeah, it's not the same. Not everybody's in the same position, but we are in a world where if you want HD content, you got to have HD storage. Yeah, like in terms of volume. That sucks for people who haven't, but the world changes. Storage gets cheaper. Trust me. I remember when an MP3 player that had, you know, like 128 meg on it was like cutting edge.
Yeah, definitely. Boys, can we just go back to the chat because again it's been neglected. So Martin Brown, we seen Martin. Happy birthday again, mate. So Little Joker said, "Well, shit, Devlin. If we're doing shots for birthdays, I had mine 2 weeks ago. Cheers." Fucking hell. They are doing that stealth. They're trying to get me drunk, mate.
That means that you have to also pay interest on that, so that's 2 shots, Devlin.
Oh, 2 shots. Do you know what?
Well,
how big is that one?
My birthday was.
How big is that one? I don't know how big is it. Fuck it, I'll just do it. That's gone. That was a big one. That hurt actually. A malt. Actually, I bought a malt. I shouldn't be doing it like that, but I was doing it for the birthdays. Bought. I went to a place called Calendar. I don't know if you know it, in Scotland, and it's a little distillery called Deanston. And I went to a little shop that sold their gear, and it's they signed. The bottles are signed. It's like 46.3% or something.
That's whiskey, you know, mate. That's,
exactly. It's a nice little whiskey. So anyway, so Little Joker, there you go, mate. You've had 2. I've done my penalty. Chris T Game His Own. 2042 looks proper polished in the stuff DICE revealed. I've seen some shit as well, Chris, and it looks a lot better. I think polished is probably it's a nice thing to say. I'm surprised Chris actually said that, to be honest. Some gripes. Yeah, exactly. You're a shill, Chris the shill. So we're going to the Slavic Pigeon. Evening, gents. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to tag along tonight since I've gone up north for a little holiday. Where's north? I'd like to know that. Howard Hopkins. Actually, that's a good topic. What's everyone's opinions of crossplay and how would you work it? I'll go to Bulk first, actually, because it came in last. So, say for argument's sake, Bulks, you really like the game. You have a PC, you have consoles of every iteration. What's your opinion of crossplay? How do you think they should work it?
For a long time, I say a long time, going back to probably pre-current generation, I always used to think, unless you got a keyboard and mouse, you're automatically gimped. That's my opinion.
Sure.
I'm much better with a keyboard and mouse and a controller. Always will be. That's how it is. Although I have had consoles.
Later, Joker. Cheers. Sorry, just seen that. Latest Joker.
One thing
Sorry,
I will
Bob.
say, one thing I will say is all the games that have come out with crossplay recently over the last 4 or 5 years hasn't bothered me one bit. Like, it hasn't made any difference to me whatsoever. The only thing that worries me is I do think that there is obviously a cheating problem on PC, which isn't going to go away.
And I don't think it is. I said that early on. You might have not been unboxed, but I said you're never going to get away with that. That's always going to be there because apparently even on Vanguard, they've got a new cheat system and it's going to be in Warzone, etc., etc. Apparently it's been fucking hacked already.
Well, there's systems that are far beyond what you even realise at the moment. There's YouTube videos showing stuff that's probably, beyond everybody's expectations.
Sure.
In terms of what's capable. You're never going to beat that. There's a very slight possibility, I think, that it might come to consoles too in the future because the input methods are equalising. You can use keyboard and mouse on consoles. And
right.
Some people don't like that. But there's ways around everything.
Well, apparently there's Cronus things for cheats, or are they just like modded? They mod your controller. I don't know.
They just mod your controller. There's no cheating. It's just like a rapid fire or maybe.
So there's no wall hacks or nothing like that in them.
There's no cheating.
A good example of this is go back to the PlayStation 1 when Metal Gear Solid came out. If you had a turbo pad, you could beat the torch a bit really quick.
Yeah, really. It's like those old controllers that had the turbo button.
Yeah, but that's been around for a long time. But it's marginal advantage, I think, in the real world.
Right.
What I'm talking about is exactly what you're saying. Aimbotting, wall hacking, ESP.
But apparently Battlefield 2042 are going to give you a specialist who can wall hack anyway. What the fuck?
Really. Here, it's like that boardroom meeting meme where the guy says, okay, how are we going to defeat hackers? Oh, we can ban them. We could kick them. And then the last guy goes, why don't we just give them a wall hack specialist? You can't beat them, join them.
And that's what DICE has done exactly. Fuck's sake.
I think it will destroy the longevity of the game. I think people will get irritated with these things. Look at Battlefield 5.
I noticed in that the thing we're reading, they said that in Hazard Zone that you can't have 2 or 3 guys in the squad that are the same operator, but they said that they won't do that for all-out warfare. So that makes me believe that you're still going to have these instances where you don't know who's who, or there's just 4 or 5 different McKays running around the map.
I think this is where it's going to be the issue with the specialists. That you're going to get the same one running about all over the place. You know what? Regardless if there's only 1 per squad, there's 128 players. Say everyone, there was 1 in every single squad running about with in his essentially wall hacks.
Yeah.
But that's not in Hazard Zone though. One of the things I wanted to say is to me, Hazard Zone is the biggest disappointment of everything they've spoken about so far.
You know what? I can't even get my head around it. I actually physically, I've tried to decipher what it actually is. Can anyone do that online now? Can anyone decipher what the fuck is Hazard Zone?
It's,
I think what it
squad-based
is
capture the intel.
yeah.
That's it.
Um,
With a very small player base, or very small player count, which will equate to a very small player base long term, because people play Battlefield for large numbers, open battles with lots of chaos. Like if they wanted to go play 32 players, they could play anything else.
Have you ever played The Division?
I like the Division.
Yeah.
Is
There
it
was a
Dark
thing
Zone?
where The PvP was the Dark Zone.
Yeah, I
Thinking that's
enjoyed
basically
that.
What it is.
Do you think that's
Yeah.
the way that's going?
I think that's what they wanted. Some people are saying Escape from Tarkov.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Too.
What's the cowboy game? They're saying it's that as well.
Hunt
Stealth
Showdown.
Hunt Showdown. Yeah. Stealth, are you trying to come in? Because I think your mic's cutting.
Yeah, I think it's just been a bit shitty today. I'm on my backup mic, admittedly.
All right, okay.
I was just going to basically say, in all honesty, I can't sanction any class that gives any player, legitimate or not, wall hacks. I mean, the only
I don't think I can do that.
The only way I can even vaguely give it a pass is if they took the same route that Titanfall did with their pulse blade or their pulse scan, which is if you fire it off and someone is detected, that person is informed that they have been detected. Not by who, not from where, but that they have been.
Sure.
And that's the only way I can even start to sort of go, okay, I'll let it slip. But for me, wall hacking has no place in FPSs.
Go on, Box. Go on.
Okay, so we've got a problem. Let's add a meta solution. So yes, you got wall hacks, but you can see the people who are wall hacking you. For fuck's sake, just stop.
Oh yeah, that's so bad.
Like, just remove it. You know.
Just don't have wall hacks.
Yeah. Like, it's stupid. It's stupid. And do you know what? Like, there's going to be so many design decisions in this game that are going to upset people. Like they've upset me before they even announced them. So, I'm just going off how I feel.
Because we were even talking months ago, and you were like, "No, I'm not having this. I don't like this," and don't. Not to that extent, but
I'll buy the game. I'll give it a chance, but I'm going to buy it on Steam.
Yeah,
so I can
same.
refund it.
I might
because there's nothing more that's there's nothing more offensive to a big publisher than spitting in their face and getting your money back. And you know what? If it's good on launch, I promise I'll say it's fucking good.
I actually think, look, Box, what I know about you, we've been talking just over 12 months or something like that. I think you actually would. You're, dare I say, fucking man enough to say, look, it was decent in the end. I was enjoying this game. I know I did shit on it a bit before it was released. When I played the beta, I wasn't impressed. The alpha, the playtest, whatever. But I think you are the sort of person that would say, look, holy shit, I actually really enjoy this game.
I just said live that I enjoy Warzone.
I know. You even shocked me, mate. You even shocked me. I know. Because what I'm going to do now, I'm going to make this. I'm not going to close the stream off, but I'm going to make it a part 2. I'm going to turn off the web page. I'll make it a part 2 and go down the latter part of what we've talked about. Because we're actually having what I enjoy most about the streams is us just having a chat, and I think we should do that actually. But first of all, I'm just gonna go back to the actual chat itself and see what people are saying. So Little Joker, he said he was off. I said I actually missed that, but you know, Joker, if you watch this afterwards, I appreciate you coming along. Slavic Pigeon, especially after last time, I don't think doing the shots is a great idea. I remember last time it was vodka. That's not the good one for me. And North, for the Slavic Pigeon in Great Britain, if anyone's watching in America, North for the Slavic Pigeon is Derbyshire. What the fuck?
Okay, say this thing.
Go on. The British guys. How North is Derbyshire?
Hang on.
To me, as an American from Texas, you guys are about as far north as you can get.
I think Texas is probably the size of Great Britain.
Yeah, really.
To be honest, what Slavic has basically said is the exact middle of England upwards is north. I mean, technically you're correct, Slavic, but
Just,
that's Midlands,
for
mate.
fuck's sake,
Like,
just.
by the definition of being above the halfway line, you are correct.
Does Slavic just mean north of him? So he can go to Aldi's or something, and it's like 10 minutes up the road up north.
One side of the road is the rich south, the other side is the desolate north.
Because the north to me is Iceland.
Well, to be fair, you are at the top of the UK.
Northwest where I'm from.
What'd you say, Bulk? Sorry?
So that's northwest where I'm from.
Northwest.
I bet we will have a lot of US users like, what the fuck?
I know
are they
what
on
they're
about?
talking. I thought this was about Battlefield, but we do always obviously go off on a tangent. Devlin's beard has spoken. Did you guys know I actually got married last week?
No, we didn't.
Fuck yeah. I'll show you the pictures when they turn up.
Bro, what happened to the invites? You said you
I fucking sent it. Look, bottom line is I sent them on COVID and shit. We didn't even know it was going to happen, in all fairness. I can't even... No, it wasn't last week. It was a week before, because I was a week married last Sunday. But what happened was we tried to get married like 3 or 4 times. This is so random. What the fuck? We tried to get married 3 or 4 even times, and it wasn't happening because of COVID. And then they said, right, okay,
Yeah,
so
that's
you,
right.
you can have 50 people, and we don't know how many can come at the night time. So we said, right, fuck it, just book it. We need to get married. And you know what? There was fucking hundreds. It's like, fucking, mate, you tell them to go away. If you're talking to my friends, you tell them to go away, because I'm certainly not going to tell them to go away.
That's the thing. You're talking to Scotsmen, the only people on the planet, or the only men on the planet who can wear skirts and become more manly.
I
Than they are.
know.
Oh, really?
And I was wearing one. I will actually put up. Actually,
I
I
saw
don't.
it on your Twitter. I
Oh,
didn't
did ya?
interact with it, yeah, because I thought you were going to be taking a social media break. So I just saw your tweet today when you liked one of my tweets. I was like,
Oh, did
yeah,
you see the other ones?
Yeah. That was
I actually-
gorgeous place. That was a gorgeous place. that you
Yeah,
went
it
to,
was
I
really
thought.
nice. It was a fucking nightmare, to be honest, because they said, "Oh, you've." Now we're talking normal. It was a case of obviously you pay for the venue, blah blah blah, and you pay it in stages. And they said, "Oh, we can't find this £1,000." I said, "You fucking find it." Because I've got a receipt here that says I paid £1,000, and it wasn't just £1,000. I paid like £2,000, £1,000, £1,500, blah blah blah, whatever. Oh, we can't find this particular one, and it was one of them. Get to fuck, mate. If you can, I don't care if you can find it or not. So it was touch and go at the time, but you know, we got there and it was nice. And you know, I thought I'd be respectful because I'm an English guy. I've got a lot of Scottish heritage. So what I did is I just wore a charcoal. You've seen it, Silver. Just wore a charcoal kilt.
Yeah.
I didn't wear a particular tartan. I can wear a few, but I thought just to be respectful to the Scottish people, I just wore a charcoal kilt. I fucking bought the bastard though. I didn't even rent it. I bought it.
You
It's a lot of
truly
money.
Become a Scotsman.
Mate,
Yeah,
I have
speaking
got
of-
my father's
Yeah,
Scottish
here's the
stealth.
Ultimate Scottish test. They say that Scotsmen can't say purple burglar alarm. Can you say
They
that,
can't.
Devlin? Yeah, you gotta say it.
Go on, say it.
that.
I'm not a Scot. I'm actually an English guy.
Oh, okay.
So
That's what I meant about how he's become a proper Scotsman now.
Yeah, really.
I've grown the fucking beard. I want to be William Wallace. without the glasses. I even put my contact lenses in for the wedding.
Yeah.
How long until you next go on stream and there's a massive claymore up on the,
Yeah.
on the wall behind you?
Shall I?
Do it, mate.
Actually-
do it. I know a few places where you can go.
Actually, one of Jack's sons, he lives in Japan, and he's actually going back on Monday. And I had someone in work tested positive for COVID, so we had to all take tests. And I thought, I'm not going to fucking tell him because he's got to go back on Monday. But I was negative anyway, and he's brought me back this fucking knife from Japan. It's like the most spectacular thing. I don't even know why. I'm not even into knives, but it's the most spectacular thing I've seen in my life. Something like, what's it called, Stealth? A claymore? The big two-handed knives?
Yeah, claymore is a type of two-handed weapon. There are many different types. They are probably very similar. Let's put it that way. But a claymore is typically a Scottish weapon.
Right, I might get one of them. I thought it was a headbutt, but...
Nah, claymore is typically a Scottish version of a two-handed
Headbutt.
sword. As Scott says, a great sword.
So what
That's
did the English call them? I can't even remember.
A great... well, this
A
is the thing,
broadsword. A broadsword.
Nah, broadsword is a
No.
smaller sword.
Great
It's just...
sword is like the general classification, but the claymore is more of a Scottish.
Oh, right,
version.
okay.
Yeah.
It's a great sword. It's a two-handed sword. So rather than be a single-handed sword and shield thing, it's a two-handed. If I swing this, 3 people are dying kind of thing.
It is a pure two-handed weapon as opposed to a longsword or a broadsword, which are technically considered something that's called a hand-and-a-half sword, which is you can use it one-handed or two. A claymore is a two-handed big fucker.
Right. Oh,
It's
actually,
like
Silver.
sword.
What's the American? Seeing as we let you live there. What's your? That was a slight dig. But what's your like? The Scottish people have got a claymore. The English people have got what?
Yeah.
What have the Americans got?
We've got guns.
Musket. Was that your original?
The bayonet. That's what we put on our.
No, you got that from the
muskets.
English. So
Yeah.
I was putting you on the spot there. So really, over in America, the American Indians were the ones who had the sort of base, sort of weapons.
Well, I guess they had their bows and
Later,
spears.
Slavic. See you later, son. I was just waiting for someone to pop back in there because I only just interrupt when I've got something to say.
Everyone seemed like they were going to say something.
No. I mean, that is the hardest thing about doing podcasts, to be honest. You
Yeah.
should all...
You don't know
Actually, you need to... I can sort this out, actually, not even through whatever. I know Bork's not overly comfortable with his face being seen. Are you, Bork, or would you?
I'm not bothered, but I haven't got a webcam.
Oh. Because
Why
I've
would you
found
wanna
this...
see a beardy English
No,
thing?
because, I just think it's... I'm a beardy fucking ugly cunt.
Yeah, one's enough.
To be fair, that's a very British response.
But and we take it as it is. But what I'm saying is that because obviously I bought all this shit for this Streamlabs and all that, but then I found there was something free on the internet you can do, putting other people's faces on. I just think, can you?
That's pretty interesting.
It's called something Ninja. It's called Ninja, but it's not spelt like ninja. It's got like N.
Yeah, it's
DJA. Yeah. And I've seen it, and you just send people the link, and you can chat with each other, obviously, and it's in full HD. And I'm just thinking, because everyone would see everyone else's reactions and how people speak. I don't know. Is anyone comfortable?
We can always try it one time.
But who's comfortable? I'm obviously. I'm now comfortable with being on screen.
Yeah,
I'm just
gonna
getting.
have to buy into it once I've actually overhauled my workspace, really, because I just do not have a setup.
Have you got a webcam?
No, I just don't have
Wow.
the
I can only
agreeable
use my
setup
phone's
currently.
camera.
So, Silver, are you using your phone at the moment?
Yeah, I'm using the Discord app.
What the fuck? It actually sounds pretty clear, to be honest.
Yeah,
I
I'm
assume
literally
he's got
using the
something-
Discord app in my Apple headphones.
Oh,
Yeah.
right. Okay. Okay.
That's what I was going to say. That's definitely not a phone. But anyway, wedding. You were telling us.
Yes. Okay. So, what do you want to know? I wore a kilt, skirt, dress. And I married the love of my life, Jack. We actually got married. She is now officially Mrs. Devlin. So the new channel is, it's not set up, so don't even search for it. It won't even go there. Discuss with Devlin is gonna be coming very soon.
Oh, okay. So
And
now we can officially go, how's the missus?
you actually can. And you can know if she ever comes, you know what she's like. She comes on sometimes. She's had a couple of wines and all that. And she'll say, hello, guys. I say, please, Jack, never say guys on my stream.
To be honest, I do think we should have a full-on stream with Mrs. Devlin in. 'cause
Do you
I
think?
we
Oh, we
like-
had one once. We actually had one.
I
You
remember it
two,
was
you
a
two
couple
did,
weeks
but not with
ago.
all of us.
Oh, shit. I in
Like,
fact,
the usual panel and Mrs. Devlin.
so actually, I might do that. That's actually a good idea to, let me think. Yeah, in fact, I might do that. I'll try and get balked on yourself, obviously, and the crew. Chris will come on because her and Chris are like fucking brother and sister. I'll try and do it. Maybe it's the first ever one on Discuss with Devlin. You won't find it, by the way, so don't even YouTube it.
What are you discussing?
Literally anything. And I'll be the right-wing part of the discussion. So anything.
Discussion. Oh, what were we discussing, Devlin? Please tell me.
No,
It's fascinating.
anything. It'd be like, because the first one, I've got a couple of Jack's friends on. We're doing like shit like life after 50, what you do. Because, right, okay, so how old are you, Balked? If you don't mind me asking.
35.
How much?
35.
35. So, Stealth, you're a bit younger than that?
Yeah, 25.
Okay. So, what we're going to do is see how people over 50, and you want to see what I've got lined up. I've got one of Jack's friends, I've got her partner, and these people are like, how old are you? You're supposed to be 50. Because I look my age, but these people, so I'm doing things like life after 50. I'm doing, do you like Joe Biden and shit like that? But I honestly can't go into it because I've got at least half a dozen. Get life in Japan for a Western person. What else have I got on? But I've got loads of shit on that I can't really say because I don't even know if I can or if I'm going to get it.
Don't say it then, but to be honest, it does sound like you've just got a broad sort of slice of life style ideas. For
Yeah,
this
but it
channel.
is
I like
literally going to be 100% just podcasting.
That's
I
good
mean,
though,
there's
'cause,
nothing wrong with that. It's something different.
And
Yeah,
I'm just going to do it from the kitchen. But the only trouble is, the only thing I'm worried about is that people are going to try and be really sensible, and I'm going to have whiskey in front of me. I'm going to be like,
Oh.
I'm already worried about the age thing because I've been an old man since I was about 12.
fucking hell. But is that one of them, I am 14 going on 35?
No, it's completely different to that. I've just been about 45 my entire life.
Fucking hell.
Come on.
as I get closer to that age, it seems more reasonable and fair. But I don't know. Age is a weird one. Age is, to me, it's like the worst indicator of a person, because you get some people who are 60 and you're like, whoa. And you get some people who are 30 and you think, mate, you're close.
Because I actually always remember when I was a young fella, for argument's sake, I was 20 years old, 19, 20 years old, and I thought someone who was 50 years old was fucked. That's them. They're dead. They wear trousers up to the nipples and shit like that. It's all different. I'm actually 57 years old and I still play fucking computer games. Sometimes go on, Stealth.
You've also got to consider that was your view 37 years ago. So it's not just a case of, oh, you're getting older to a certain age. It's a case of how has your perception of that and how has the world's perception of that age changed over the 37 years?
I suppose.
Or that
I suppose.
as well.
I wouldn't worry about it, because if you haven't grown up by now, you're not going to, are you?
Never.
That's a fair point.
Shit's never going to happen.
Yeah, it's waiting for a bus.
Exactly. When are these three going to come all at once, so balked?
Well, to be fair, you don't want to know nothing about that. Just keep that.
No, yeah. Fucking hell. I ride a motorbike every day. I don't want that shit, to be
Well,
honest.
the same problem. Listen, I'm going to make my apologies and make my deals in the last couple of minutes, like everybody else. Up until that point, I'm just going to be me.
There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. Look, I'm going to end the stream. We'll probably have a chat just after this, and I'll probably talk absolute bollocks afterwards. But really appreciate people that have come along. We ended up with Balked, Stealth Slicer, and Silver all on the podcast tonight. Really appreciate that. We talked about Battlefield. I'm going to make it a V2 on this because we got about halfway down. Really interesting. Really enjoyed it. Balk, say good night, mate.
Good night. And revisit Warzone if you haven't already. It's quite good.
Dick. Stealth, say good night.
Good night, guys. It's lovely to see everybody again. Stay awesome. Stay safe. I'll see you next week.
And Silver, finish off with you, mate.
Here, let me try this again since it cut off the last time.
Go on, do it. I won't cut off.
This is Mr. Silver signing off. Good night.
So we'll leave it a little bit longer so you get that. That's perfect, actually. So anyway, we're going to finish off. I'm going to put it to the back soon.